Hello there and welcome to City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia for the Richmond Kickers versus Bethlehem Steel in the USL Eastern Conference. My name is Darryl Grove. I'm going to be doing your play-by-play and I'm joined by Taylor Rockwell on colour commentary duties. Hello.
Hey buddy, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good, but we have two streaks up against each other here.
We sure do.
We have the Richmond Kickers on a 13-match winless streak in
15
the USL.
in all competitions.
15 in all competitions, although one of those was against Swansea City from the Premier League. So,
yeah,
you know,
grain of salt there.
Grain of salt. Up against Bethlehem Steel on an 8-match unbeaten streak.
And I believe 3 wins straight in their last 3 road games. So I'm sure they'll be looking to make it 4 games, and I'm sure for the Richmond Kickers, they'll be looking to break that streak, get those 3 points here at City Stadium.
The other opponent for both teams tonight is that big yellow ball in the sky. There was a 105 Fahrenheit heat index in Richmond, Virginia today. I think it may have been the hottest place in the country. The fields were watered, like sprinkled just before we start, but it is still pretty warm out here.
All of what you just said is accurate. I need to make sure that you know that that thing is called the sun.
The sun. Okay. Got it.
All right, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page then.
So the players to watch today for Bethlehem Steel, the one I think everyone here at City Stadium is going to be having an eye on is number 42, Hugh Roberts, former Richmond kicker.
When you think Bethlehem, you probably think more attack-minded players. They haven't been held scoreless. I think only 3 games they've gone without scoring. But Hugh Roberts is the man of the evening. Former Richmond Kickers player, locked down the defense for the Kickers last season, doing the same thing for Bethlehem this season.
For the Richmond Kickers, one of the guys we're going to have an eye on is the right back, number 36, Jalen Robinson, on loan from DC United. We've seen him come down here, down 95 South, quite a few times. Haven't seen him in a Kickers jersey that many times. We're excited to get a good look at him today.
We are indeed. It's going to be Jalen Robinson on one side, Braden Troy on the other, trying to hold down that defense, as I said, against a very potent Bethlehem attack. We'll see what he can do this evening.
So the starters for Bethlehem Steel. In goal, you're going to have number 64, Romero. Across the back line, the aforementioned Hugh Roberts with Richie Marquez and Austin Trusty and Aaron Jones. Austin Trusty on loan from Philadelphia Union, a really highly rated player. Who's in midfield, Taylor?
Looks like we're going to have Ken Tribbett and James Chambers as your holding midfielders. If we're going to go with a 4-2-3-1, which we think they will, then that means Matthew Reel as your left-sided attacker, Anthony Fortuna in the middle with Santi Moore out wide, Chris Nanko up top as the striker for Bethlehem.
So, and yeah, top scorer, Kone, not starting today, I think, because like the Kickers, Bethlehem have a lot of games coming up, so they're sort of resting where they can.
Kone is on the bench. I'm sure we'll see him later on. For the Richmond Kickers, it's a more standard formation, more standard lineup. 4-2-3-1 with Matt Turner in goal, Braden Troy on the left, the aforementioned Jalen Robinson on the right, Hugh Roberts and William Yombi in the middle. Your holding midfielders, we think, are going to be Samuel Asante and Oscar.
I believe you meant Milan Roberts.
Excuse me. Definitely not Hugh Roberts. That would be, I think, unfair. Oscar Umar is your other holding midfielder, Raul Gonzalez, Sonny John, Luis Fernando is your 3 attacking midfielders with Oliver up top.
So Oliver Minatel is going to be a man to watch as well because we saw him in pre-season, looked good, hasn't had that many starts. So number 9 today, Oliver Minatel. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, get ready for kickoff.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, it goes a little something like this. I carefully prepare my disguise.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a tow truck on the way to you right now.
I approach with the utmost subtlety.
Absolutely.
I observe undetected.
Repairs include a lifetime guarantee.
And slip away without a trace.
What?
When my customers are happy, I'm happy. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com. At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by 4 walls.
is out here in our community. CBS 6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back to City Stadium. You can see number 9, Oliver Minatel, with the ball there, ready for kickoff. It's going to be the Richmond Kickers in red. They'll be kicking from right to left on your screen. Their opponents are the Bethlehem Steel FC, kicking left to right and wearing white.
Bethlehem started playing in 2016, have not lost to the Richmond Kickers ever, won that first game. Since then, it's been 2 draws, including the 1-1 draw only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, in that game, Hugh Roberts got himself a red card against his old team, but it looked kind of accidental, right? No malice, no malice.
I'm sure the Red Army will still let him hear about it maybe once or twice during this game.
There was so much love for Hugh Roberts when he was here.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be any bitterness towards Hugh Roberts.
I would say probably not. Although, you know, anytime an opponent comes to town, even if they're a beloved opponent, still an opponent.
Looking out on the field, Taylor, it looks to me like we have a back 3 for Bethlehem Steel, which makes sense, right? There are 3 centre-backs, Roberts, Marquez, Trusty.
I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it develops, because you could see that. You might see it stay as a back 4. We'll see how it develops.
We are underway. Oscar Umar with a short pass to Sonny Jane. Jane lays it out to Robinson, right back. To William Yombi, Richmond's captain today. He squares it to Milan Roberts. Milan Roberts drags it back, goes back to Matt Turner in goal. Kickers with 100% possession so far. Sante under pressure, turns out of pressure, still has the ball. Sante outright to Robinson. Robinson collects. Sonny Jane now with the ball. Quick touch and turn. Tries to slip in. Luis Fernando in on goal. Romero was off his line to collect quickly. Good early aggression, good attacking aggression from the Kickers early on, trying to play those through balls.
Indeed, for Bethlehem, it looks like they are in more of a flat 4,
yeah,
and then maybe a 4-4-2 in the attack, dropping into a 4-5-1 when they're defending against that Kickers attack.
Here's Marquez with the ball. Marquez brings it forward. Does that mean that Richie Marquez is our left back today?
I believe it's actually Austin Trusty is our left back, with Aaron Jones on the right and then Richie Marquez in the middle, but they may have switched it up.
Well, here's Austin Trusty with the ball. No, I'm sorry, that was Tribbett. Tribbett with the ball. Gives it to Marquez. Marquez goes out left. Dispossessed. Ball into the feet of Oliver Minatel, getting an early touch in those green boots. Plays it into Luis Fernando again. Kickers are looking for him. Fernando into the path for Raul Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez has put it wide. Also, the offside flag is up.
Offside flag went up right away, although Raul Gonzalez did not see that flag go up, so maybe should have done better with that, given that he thought he was in on goal. Puts it wide, but it's good early intent from the Richmond Kickers, getting some combination through the middle as we get a replay here of that sequence. Good work from Luis Fernando to ride that challenge, plays that ball in, but it looks like Raul Gonzalez did indeed drift just a bit offside there.
Got himself caught in the offside trap. It's going to be Romero to take. He goes short to Tribbett. Tribbett with the ball now. Squares it to Richie Marquez. Marquez comes forward, goes back to Hugh Roberts. Kickers regain possession. Raul Gonzalez now to Robinson. Robinson back to Milan Roberts. Roberts out left to Braden Troyer, playing left back here. Troyer under pressure from Santi Moore. Lays it back. Good chase being given by Nanko. And Roberts into the feet of Samuel Asante. He has a little bit of space in midfield. He drives forward. Here goes Samuel Asante. Looking for that pass. Goes out left to Luis Fernando. Lays it back to Troyer. To Asante. Back to Troyer. Kickers moving the ball pretty quickly for 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
Indeed, the other thing that's happening pretty quickly is Robinson getting forward on that right-hand side for the Kickers. As soon as they get the ball, he's pushing up, I think trying to send some people inside, get some numbers in.
Fernando after that ball from Yombi. Fernando plays it in low, headed out by Hugh Roberts. Oscar Umar at the top of the box. Just manages to get it to Asante, who puts it out wide. Now Jalen Robinson with the ball. Short pass to Umar, to Samuel Asante, his fellow Ghanaian. Asante into the feet of Jane, lays it off to Minatel, leaves it for Asante. Now out wide to Braden Troyer, who's got space to cross. Instead goes backwards to Asante. Square to Umar. It's very strange seeing a tall Richmond Kickers central midfielder in Oscar Umar.
Yeah, I mean, relatively speaking, I believe he's 6 foot, so not that tall, but yeah, in comparison to Fredo Wusu-Sikire and Samuel Asante, yeah, a giant by comparison.
A giant. Milan Roberts now to the aforementioned Samuel Asante. Here he is. He's been at the heart of most of the positive things for the Kickers so far in these opening 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Admittedly, a small sample size. Oscar Umar squares it again to Asante. Outside of the foot pass to Jane, was intercepted, but Asante intercepts it right back. Now here's Roberts. Squares to Yombi. Down the line looking for Raul Gonzalez. It's out of bounds though. It's going to be a Bethlehem Steel throw-in. Taken quickly, but Yombi intercepts. Yombi holds off Nanko. Robertson goes back to Turner. Robertson evades pressure, goes backwards. William Yombi, back to Turner again. Kickers taking no chances. Roberts to Jane. Jane's come deep to see the ball, I think. Captain Yombi once again under pressure from Nanko. I think Chris Nanko doing some good running up top for Bethlehem Steel.
I think trying to keep the Kickers isolated on one side, but having trouble doing so. I think he's looking for a little bit more help from Anthony Fortuna, who now he gets it, and that's why the Kickers under a bit more pressure.
Oscar Umar chips it left. Intercepted by Jones. Aaron Jones heads it out. Now Asante under pressure finds Oscar Umar. Good partnership so far between these two.
Good possession, but I think Bethlehem doing a very good job to lock it down to the middle and not really let that possession go anywhere, and then get the ball back and then look to break on their own.
Matthew Real lost out to Raul Gonzalez there. Gonzalez plays it back to Jalen Robinson. Once again under pressure from Nanko. He's going to be drinking a lot of water at the water break, is my guess. I'm assuming there's a water break tonight given the temperatures. Asante now out left to Luis Fernando with his new top knot. Fernando down the line to Sonny Jane. Jane keeps it in, left-footed, drives it in. Hugh Roberts somewhat clumsily clears it. Santi Moore has won a free kick for his team. It's going to be a Bethlehem throw. Aaron Jones to take. Jones down the line. Asante stepped, I think just got an eyebrow to it, but Bethlehem win the ball back. Fortuna into Nanko. Ball is played out left to Matthew Real, driving forward. That's Austin Trusty, I apologise. Cross comes in, it bounces. Braden Troyer gets a right foot to it and gets it out of bounds. Luis Fernando dribbles in field, runs into Fortuna. Troyer rescues him, clears it long. Oliver Minatel challenges. Looks like he won the free kick from Richie Marquez.
A little bit better in terms of the directness there from the Richmond Kickers. I think had struggled to get it out of their defensive half. Just playing it long there, a little bit drawing that foul. Good work from Oliver to hold that ball up.
Just bump him in the back. Kickers recycle, recirculate. Minotaur comes deep to get a touch. Brightest boots on the field. Troyer one times it over the top for Luis Fernando, who is onside. Luis Fernando dribbling to the end line. He's up against Jones. He crosses low. It's cut out by Hugh Roberts, a familiar sight at City Stadium.
Good defensive work there from Hugh Roberts to get back into shape to make sure he put that one out safely. But really good work from the Kickers there. Nice ball over the top. Luis Fernando in, and that one-time ball gets it across, but can't quite find one of his teammates. Instead finds Hugh Roberts. But the Kickers will now have a corner to be taken by Raul Gonzalez. We see that replay here. Gets that touch out in front of him. Tries to find the back post. It looks like maybe looking for Sonny Jane instead. As we said, finds Hugh Roberts.
As you said, Raul Gonzalez to take. Gonzalez bends it to the back post. It's partially cleared. Played back in, out left to Jane. Raul Gonzalez with a second chance to cross if he can make enough space. He's around Jones, he's in the box. Here's Raul Gonzalez. Shoots low, has dragged it just wide.
Bethlehem lucky that Raul Gonzalez didn't go down there. Did look like he was being held back. Did look like there was a bit of a jersey pull, maybe a hand on that shoulder there.
Yeah.
Gonzalez tried to ride it through, got that shot off.
Not a helping hand on the shoulder.
Indeed.
Let's take another look at it.
A little bit of a sloppy first touch there from Gonzalez. Makes up for it with a nice little cut. gets around Jones, but then Jones, as I said, is kind of holding that arm around. Maybe you could argue that he had it in that position when he first made contact, but I think the referee let play go on. And unfortunately for the Richmond Kickers, Gonzalez's shot goes just wide.
I think Jones walked right up to the line of what you can't do, and then stepped back at the right moment. Minotaur fighting to keep this in. Hugh Roberts gets to the loose ball. Sonny Jani, I think, got a toe in. It's kept in bounds. Played long, looking for Nanko. Doesn't quite make it. There's a scramble for the ball over on that far side. Minotaur hits the accelerator. Doesn't get there quite quickly enough. Richie Marquez is able to slide it out of bounds.
Seems like that back four for Bethlehem, which is slightly experimental in Austin Trusty playing at left back instead of center back, is having a little bit of difficulty dealing with the pace of Richmond out wide, as well as just kind of the physical play and the directness of the Kickers so far. There's been a few last-ditch tackles there from Bethlehem.
It looks like the Kickers have been able to find balls in behind as well.
Getting those numbers forward quickly, and I think just trying to stagger those runs as much as they can.
And here's Raul Gonzalez on the right. Couldn't keep it in bounds. It's going to be a Bethlehem throw.
Fans, stay up to date on all the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM-FC, channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Matthew Reel's flick on is out of bounds. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers throw. William Yombi goes quickly to either Matt Turner or Milan Roberts. Turner collects it. Yombi gets it back. Put a move on Nanko and has played it forward for Oliver Minotaur to chase up against Richie Marquez. I think Marquez was going to try and shepherd that out of bounds, and Oliver Minotaur was wise to it, got the other side. Yombi this time leaves it for Jalen Robertson. That makes more sense, right?
I would say so. Yeah.
Minotaur tried the layoff, couldn't get there. Ball is cleared. Roberts gets his head to it. Good touch from Raul Gonzalez. Brought it down, turned, gave it to Oliver. Oliver over the top, looking for Luis Fernando. That ball was not far off. Romero rolls it out left. Trusty down the line.
Get a replay here of that last sequence as Yombi drops back to Matt Turner. Turner takes a touch and finds Milan Roberts. Kickers trying to play short, but getting some pressure here from Bethlehem now.
Luis Fernando with a nutmeg on Trivet. Asante plays him through down the left. Luis Fernando now up against Hugh Roberts. Fernando, I think he was trying the flick flack.
I believe he was.
He got the flick, but not the flack.
That is also accurate. And that is part of Luis Fernando's game we've seen this season. Sometimes can be electrifying on the dribble. Sometimes can just be a little bit profligate with his chances.
Or just one trick too many sometimes. But he has it very dangerous for the Kickers so far. Also looking dangerous, Austin Trusty getting down the left here. Gives it to Matthew Reel. He drops it back all the way to Richie Marquez. Marquez into Trivet. Maintains possession, goes out right to Santi Moore. Santi Moore up against Braden Troyer. Troyer stepped right across him, got the ball. Kickers tried the quick release to Oliver, couldn't make it. Now here's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones finds Chambers in the middle. Chambers under a bit of pressure, but has gone out left. Finds Trusty. Back to Chambers. Bethlehem into Fortuna now. Trusty back to Richie Marquez. Do we see Bethlehem establishing some possession here?
I think we see Bethlehem trying to slow it down a little bit. I think they haven't been so thrilled with the pace of this game, how quick Richmond have been in those attacks, so I think they're content. Slow it down, maybe make Richmond come at them a little bit so that it's not Bethlehem chasing the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake from Richie Marquez to just try and lift it over the top there. Because now that possession is gone, and the ball is with Oscar Umar, who lays it off to William Yombi. Yombi back to Turner. We are, 13 minutes in here? You can already sort of see the slight weariness in the legs.
Well, I think for the Kickers, they're having that same problem that they've had this season, although we have Raul Gonzalez here on the ball.
Shoots from distance. Bit of a stinger, but Romero held it. Bethlehem with the ball now.
But a good attacking chance there for the Kickers, but we are still starting to see when they do get defensive, they drop everybody back behind the ball, and there's gaps forming.
Here's Jane, top of the box, shoots left-footed. That one is well over. Almost makes it into the stand.
But again, more positive from the Kickers.
Yeah.
Earlier times this season, we've seen a little bit more hesitancy to try to get forward. When they do, it is that long ball over the top, which sometimes works, but often leaves you with like a 3v1 situation.
Sonny Jane will not be thanking producer Mike for the replay of that shot.
But here in this first half, we've seen the Kickers trying to get numbers forward as quickly as possible. They are still occasionally lumping it long for Oliver, but generally speaking, we've seen some good combination plays that have seen better chances for the Kickers.
And I see a lot of Oliver sort of laying it off, chesting it down in a way that suggests it maybe could work.
I mean, I think as long as it's not that 40-yard ball with nobody in behind or nobody near him, when it's shorter and into feet with Sonny Jane running off, you are getting those chances.
Right, yeah, Richmond are not expecting him to hold it up and wait 30 seconds for people to come join him.
Exactly.
Here's Bethlehem with the throw. Loose ball. Roberts gets a foot to it. There's a long ball to Oliver. He looked like he was knocked in the back by Marquez. Referee lets it go. Daniel Chesky not giving Oliver anything, but he is down on the floor here. Bethlehem playing on, not kicking it out of bounds, as is their right. Here's Fortuna. Into the feet of Matthew Real. Now referee Daniel Chesky has stopped play because Oliver is still down on the floor.
Especially given that Oliver seems to be holding his head there, maybe a little bit of a collision there, maybe an elbow or a head-to-head situation. You do want to see the referee call a stoppage earlier.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's not Bethlehem under no obligation to play that ball out of bounds, especially if they think maybe the incident wasn't that bad, especially if they think they can get something out of it.
So can we take a look at this here? We may see it on the left-hand side of your screen. You may see the collision.
Just looks like maybe it was the back there of Richie Marquez maybe got a little bit of a head-to-head back of Richie Marquez's head. I don't think any ill intent meant there, but definitely a collision, and Oliver just taking his time to get back onto his feet.
You can see him. He's up and about. He's giving the gesture for, what, why no free kick?
I think he's giving the gesture for why didn't you put that ball out of bounds, would be my guess. Especially since they did have to pass the ball almost around him at one point. I think maybe he's justified in his frustration. But again, Bethlehem justified in trying to keep possession, maybe not give the ball back to the Kickers.
So the Kickers are going to be momentarily down to 10 men as Oliver gets some treatment on the sidelines. He'll get waved back in later on.
When you say later on, do you mean like 10 seconds from now?
Maybe, but for a little while, the Richmond Kickers are going to be playing sort of a 4-2-3 formation. Now I'm going to assume drop ball.
I think a semi-contested drop ball there. Raul Gonzalez, maybe just a little bit of pressure to make sure they went back with it. And now we have Oliver back on the field for the Kickers as Bethlehem continue to possess.
Here's Tribbett. Tribbett on the ball. Looking for a pass. Splits two. Laid out wide for Jones. That was a really good touch from Moore. Jones cuts back inside. Now lays it back to Tribbett. Tribbett has Moore on the wing. Santi Moore put it through the legs of Braden Troyer. Went down, got back up. Troyer challenges him. Moore crosses to the back post. It's a little long. Robertson gets a head to it. Looks like it's going to go out for a corner. And it has.
Looked a little bit like Braden Troyer was okay with getting beat. Looked like that ball maybe went through his legs, but he was okay with the ball going through as long as the man didn't go through. And then I think Braden Troyer lost his footing a bit, more able to get on the other side. Then you see a scrap there, and maybe Troyer himself lucky that there wasn't a free kick given. Instead, that ball put out for a corner kick for Bethlehem.
We do have a bone-dry field that was then sort of watered with a sprinkler like maybe 5-10 minutes before kickoff, so you're going to have patches that are slippier than others.
And wow, Bethlehem take this. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Corner kick to be taken by number 38, Santi Moore. Ball is high and to the back post. Up in the air, Matt Turner claims it, drops it. Looks like maybe he had an assist dropping it from a Bethlehem player.
Maybe, although I think he might have gotten bailed out there. I think he brought it down in a bit of traffic there. Maybe just goes off of a player. A bit fortunate there because I think that could have turned into some problems.
Yeah. Yombi squares to Milan Roberts. Also, potential worry for the Kickers is the fact that they lost that header at the far post. Long ball for Oliver to chase. Richie Marquez is there first. Plays it short into Tribbett, who goes all the way back to Romero. Tomas Romero. Kicks to midfield. One in the air by Robinson.
The ball.
Illegally, though, says the referee. It's going to be a Bethlehem free kick just behind the halfway line.
I think maybe a shoulder charge there from Robinson. Will be a free kick to Bethlehem right near midfield. Richmond Kickers head coach Lee Calishaw up off his bench, immediately displeased by that, maybe in combination with the earlier no call for the contact on Oliver.
Oliver one-timed it. It looked like Jane let it run. Samuel Asante tried to collect it, but he was fouled by Anthony Fortuna.
You could hear from here he wasn't too pleased with that contact. Looks like he just got that trailing foot clipped on the run through. And a free kick to be taken by Braden Troyer, again right near midfield.
Troyer, we know, is right-footed. He's going to serve it in. Couldn't find anyone. Gets it back. And Troyer goes back. Milan Roberts. Being chased once again by Chris Nanko, who has run tirelessly for little reward. Jane couldn't quite bring it down. Tackled. There's a race onto the end line.
Having a little bit of confusion with what the Kickers' overall game plan is, because you are seeing them possess short. That free kick obviously played short, possession established, but then you have that long ball in. Maybe just expecting Bethlehem to push high a little bit, play that ball in behind.
Well, I saw Troyer flinch a few times before he took it. I think he was looking for a good long ball in, but there just wasn't an option. I'm going to assume from your silence that you disagree.
I think he was always looking short. I think he called Luis Fernando to come quickly. When Luis Fernando checked away, then he went in shorter to Samuel Asante. But we can monitor and see what they do in the next one.
Well, the next one's going to go. The next one's going to go to Bethlehem Steel. Bethlehem Steel free kick just before the halfway line again. Oliver is going to contest the exact position and stand in front of it. That is not 10 yards, sir. Bethlehem go backwards anyway. Now Roberts gives it to Tribbett. Tribbett down the line to Aaron Jones, who's advanced down his flank. He switches the field. Intercepted though. Now Chambers steps through. Collected by Trusty. Trusty into Fortuna. Now Tribbett again. Tribbett lays it off to Trusty. Here's Real. Matthew Real with the ball. Puts it back to Tribbett, who tries a nice little pass inside. Tackled. Now Troyer, big right foot, bangs it clear. For Luis Fernando to chase, up against Hugh Roberts. Tomas Romero. I heard a shout from the Red Army for Hugh Roberts to shoot it.
Some optimistic thinking there.
Yeah. Richie Marquez, not under much pressure here. Kickers seem to be content to let Bethlehem have the ball back here. Nanko lets it go down the line for Matthew Real to chase. Matthew Real clips it to the far post. Braden Troyer gets his head to it. Yumbi mostly wins that. Now into the feet of Sonny Jane from Oscar Umar. Here's Sonny Jane running at the Bethlehem defence. Jane has Oliver. He gives it to Oliver. Here's Richmond number 9, Oliver Minatel. Back into the middle for Oscar Umar. Yes, Chambers ahead of him. Shoots. Going top corner.
Looked like it took a bit of a deflection there on the way through. It will be a corner for the Kickers there.
Did the keeper get a touch, or was that a defender?
I think it was deflected off the defender. No touch by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper did look like maybe he had it covered if that deflection hadn't happened.
Some good work from the Kickers, though. Let's see this one more time.
But I think Bethlehem committing numbers forward in that situation was Austin Trusty down that left-hand side, but he left space in behind. Richmond Kickers doing a very good job of finding that gap and exploiting it, and now they'll take the corner.
It's going to be Raul Gonzalez to take for the Richmond Kickers. Goes low to the near post. It's cleared by James Chambers. You probably picked up it's going to be another corner for Richmond. Raul Gonzalez is going to need a soccer ball to take this corner, though. There we go. Saxon Ball kids do their job.
Fans, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
Now here's Luis Fernando. crosses in. It's a dangerous ball. Hugh Roberts got, I think, just a tip of his forehead to it.
I believe he
Put
did
it out for a throw-in.
flicked it out, yeah, just on our side of the corner flag, so it will be a throw-in.
See this one more time. I'm going to say it's a dangerous cross from Fernando.
But in that situation, Bethlehem had a good 4 or 5 defenders in there for maybe 2 Kickers players inside or just around the 6-yard box. So it seems like it's always going to favor Bethlehem in that situation.
Now Raul Gonzalez with the throw. Every set piece. Seems he's taking quite the run up as well, so it looks like they're going to aim for the edge of that 6-yard box. Ball is in. Roberts wins it again. Out to Braden Troyer. Troyer backheel down the line, very nice to Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez taking his time crossing, lifts it in. Keeper gets a hand to it. Oscar Umar at the top of the box, he shot his block. Sonny Janes shoots, it's saved by Romero and cleared. Luis Fernando collects it.
Not sure if that was a save or a blocked shot and cleared by Bethlehem. Either way, some good work from the Richmond Kickers, who now try to play the ball back in.
Ball is cleared. Nanka versus Yombi. Yombi wins that easily. Heads it to Luis Fernando. Fernando under a bit of pressure, but finds Samuel Asante in the middle. Asante can turn and drive into that open space, as he seems want to do. Goes short to Jane. Jane puts it through. Almost finds Milan Roberts.
But Roberts was offside there. I think maybe a couple yards offside. Roberts just didn't hold that run up just enough. Maybe the sign that he's a center back and not a forward.
Yeah, I like the sneak attack element there.
Replay here of that sequence. Good look there, but yeah, Roberts, you can see, started offside and then continued offside.
One in midfield. Here's Asante. Gives it to Robinson. Jalen Robinson has been exactly what I expected so far, which is nothing too fancy, nothing too flash, but flawless.
He's also started to stay deeper a little bit more in those first 10 or 15 minutes. We saw him press forward almost as soon as the Kickers got the ball, which allowed Raul Gonzalez to come inside. Now Robertson has stayed back and kind of kept a more flat back four.
I just feel like he's someone who's never going to be caught out.
I mean, if you're a Kickers fan, I imagine you're knocking on wood right now. But yeah, so far so good for the on loan Robertson.
Yombi goes back to Turner. I think that took Turner by surprise a little bit. But he gives it him back. Yombi, nice feint and flick outside to Robertson. Jalen Robinson into the path of Samuel Asante. Asante tries to split the defense. Jane gets there. Ball is still alive. Raul Gonzalez crosses. Minotaur can't get there. Luis Fernando gets there. His shot is blocked by Jones. Doesn't clear it correctly. Oliver hits the bar.
Well taken by Oliver there. There was a quick shout of handball, but I think that might have been more so Sonny Jane being optimistic in his refereeing. Instead, it spills to Oliver, who takes that shot. Nice instep, good power, good pace on that ball, but just a bit too high. Hits off the bar, goes out. We will have a goal kick for Bethlehem.
See this one more time, Taylor.
There's that shot from Luis Fernando. Maybe that quick shot there that it bounced up on Jones. I don't think it did, but I do think it was a good take from Oliver Minotaur from that distance, but just couldn't put it on frame, instead hitting that bar.
It's a slightly panicky clearance from Bethlehem as well.
Again, I think they have been surprised by the number of attacking players the Kickers have committed forward and their kind of dedication to playing that ball on the ground rather than playing it out wide and looking for the balls in.
Is it fair to look at maybe the selection of Oliver as the centre forward today as a slight difference in approach for the Kickers? Because there have been more balls into feed, less sort of just asking a target man to battle for it.
I think so. I mean, and even when it is kind of that longer ball, he is kind of staying central. It's not him running into the channels that we've seen from, say, Anthony Grant this season, where he's tried to make those diagonal runs to be on the receiving end of the long ball.
Samuel Asante picks up that loose ball. Oliver, good touch and turn. Puts it down the line for Raul Gonzalez. It's a little too far. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a Bethlehem throw-in.
There's a very good chance there for the Kickers to break. Lots of space for Raul Gonzalez. Just overhit from Oliver, who maybe is still thinking about that crossbar shot from just a few minutes ago.
Now here's Hugh Roberts. It makes me think that maybe head coach Lee Cowdershaw was thinking, all right, we know all about Hugh Roberts. We know he's difficult to beat in the air, so let's not play him in that game.
I think he probably also expected Austin Trusty to be in there, which is two big guys at center back. Maybe you're banking on not winning too many challenges. We'll see if that approach changes in the second half. Maybe if Kickers forward Frank Teyu comes in, who is a bit stronger and taller than Oliver.
So you were here for the Swansea game. I believe Tayu scored against Swansea.
He did. Nice header there. Gets on the end of a Finley Wyatt cross, which was an excellent delivery from the former VCU and Longwood defender/midfielder.
Both those guys on the bench for the Kickers today. Here's Luis Fernando with a rollover and then a pass, but it hits Jones as it tries to go through. Step over and good turn away. Here comes Luis Fernando. Good ball into the feet of Jane. Jane under a bit of pressure. Keeps working that ball though. Jane top of the area. Headed out by Roberts and cleared by Bethlehem.
Bethlehem player down behind the lines. Kickers will play it out of bounds. We'll get a stoppage here. Looks like a little bit of a bit of discomfort, knee problem for it looks like more down. Just needs a little bit of help there.
You're right, it's Santi Moore.
Looks like this may also coincide with a water break as we take it to the 30th minute here at City Stadium. Fans, stay up to date on all the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM-FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
So what do you make of what we've seen so far, Taylor?
I think the Kickers are going to be simultaneously pleased with what they've done so far and maybe a little bit frustrated. They have had some good chances. Obviously, that shot going off the bar was probably the best one of the game, but we've all had other breaks that maybe could have come to something if just been a more delicate pass, maybe a more delicate finish, a little bit of a quicker decision-making for the Kickers could lead to that goal before halftime comes. For Bethlehem, I think they're pretty happy that it's still 0-0. They've given up some chances, been a little bit sloppy at times, as we see some highlights here of the first half.
That early chance for Gonzalez, though, I believe he was offside. You've seen a lot of Jane and Gonzalez and Luis Fernando getting to the end line and getting room to cross.
But as you pointed out earlier, it's a lot of cutting back inside, trying to play that ball low for the Kickers. It's not trying to play it to the back post, I think.
Again, is that Hugh Roberts? Like, we know Hugh Roberts is there. We know Austin Trusty's there. Let's try a different approach.
I mean, I think it's the overall size of that back line, because it doesn't seem like Richie Marquez is particularly short either. So I think, it's definitely let's play the ball low. Let's just try to create some confusion in the box.
Yeah, I did my research. He's 6 feet at least.
Is that what you'd say to your professor? I did my research. The math problem is like at least this much correct.
I'm going to guess he's 6 foot exactly.
6 plus 2 is at least 7. I know that much.
Looks like the players are starting to filter back onto the field.
Meanwhile, Moore is back up on his feet. Seems like he'll be able to continue. Maybe just a little bit of contact there with Milan Roberts. I think
like he was holding his thigh.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of cramp, maybe just a little bit of contact there. Milan Roberts was the first player over to check on him, so I'm guessing it was maybe some incidental contact that Roberts just wanted to say, hey, my bad, but not my bad at the same time.
Could it be both cramp and contact?
That is also possible.
Cramp tact.
And we are back underway. Bethlehem playing all the way back to Matt Turner.
All right, we have 15 minutes or so to go in the first half. It is 0-0 at City Stadium. Milan Roberts to Oscar Umar. Yombi brings it out. Yombi goes long for Oliver Minatel to chase up against Richie Marquez. Oliver gets across into the box. He was kind of optimistic. It's caught by Tomas Romero. Here's Jones. Heavy touch, but into space. Jones brings it forward. Out left to Austin Trusty. Looking for Fortuna, headed out by Milan Roberts. Now Samuel Asante collects again. Asante goes forward. Asante turns, comes back. Still Asante with the ball. Gives it to William Yombi. Kickers still keeping possession. Oscar Umar under pressure. Turns, still has the ball. Now finds Braden Troyer in some space on the left here. Troyer drives infield. Puts it short to Luis Fernando. Fernando gives it in back. Troyer's going to get there. Troyer keeps it in bounds. Cuts back on his right foot. Gives it to Luis Fernando. Fernando does the rollover and the nutmeg. He's through. Luis Fernando is in the box. Cuts it back low. It's cleared only as far as Jane, who turns. Gives it to Oscar Umar. Oscar Umar shoots from distance, shoots low into the hands of Thomas Romero.
Really good bit of skill there from Luis Fernando. Nice little nutmeg, then tries to find his teammate, but Bethlehem do well to cover, and then obviously Romero does well to collect that shot from distance.
Let's see this from Luis Fernando one more time. Definitely a nutmeg?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. The most nutmegs of nutmegs.
The most nutmeg of nutmegs, yeah.
Aaron Jones, to be fair, he was asking for that with his legs.
He certainly was.
Nanko lays it back. Fortuna. Big long ball looking for Santi Moore. Troy gets ahead to it. It's going to be a Bethlehem throw on the far side here. Here's Tribbett. Tribbett cross field to Marquez. Lets it bounce. Marquez to Roberts. Roberts into the feet of Chambers, gets it back. Sorry, Fortuna. There's Real. Nanko turned, got it out wide. Trusty crosses, looking for Real, headed out by Milan Roberts. Collected by Asante. Asante under pressure, he's won himself a free kick just outside the Richmond Kickers area.
I'm not sure if the referee bailed himself out or he bailed himself out there. Looks like it was maybe a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Referee says it was a little bit from behind, and we will have a free kick right at the top of the box. We get a replay of that collision here. I'm not sure. What would you say, Daryl? You're the defender, so you tell me, but I would say that looked to me like a little bit of hip-to-hip, side-to-side, although we do still have Samuel Asante down.
Yeah, there's nothing nasty, right? He was just sort of aggressively going for the ball.
While he gets treatment, soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
I'm a little concerned by how long Asante's been down, though, for such a relatively minor challenge.
Asante's slow to get back up, still getting treatment. We'll get a replay here of that chance for the Kickers following the nutmeg. Luis Fernando tries to find it just centered a little bit. Nice work from Samuel Asante there. Or excuse me, Sonny Jane there, drops it back. And Oscar from distance, calmly saved by Romero.
Yeah, I think he was more hoping to bend it into the corner. You wouldn't shoot that low and directly at the keeper.
No, I don't think so. I think, yeah, you're probably right. Probably trying to take it with the instep and put it to the far post.
Yeah.
A little bending effort there instead. Maybe mishit a little bit straight at the goalkeeper.
Turner gets ready to take the resulting free kick. About 10 minutes until halftime here.
Some coaching there from Milan Roberts, telling Luis Fernando and Raul Gonzalez to push forward and come inside. It looks like the Kickers are maybe going to a front three for the final few minutes of this first half.
It's a positive move. Turner kicks long. Gonzalez loses out in the air. Robinson steps, but it's a Bethlehem throw. It's Chambers. Ball out wide to Aaron Jones. He's keeping his legs closer together from here on out.
Even when he's on the ball?
Yeah, just going to hop.
He's going to shuffle down the field.
His ball to Marquez wasn't perfect either. Made Marquez run to get that. Oliver blocks the long ball from Chambers. I think it may be the cost of a red mark.
Yeah. Chambers apologizing to his teammates for that one. Maybe apologizes to Oliver as well for a pretty pacey ball hit right into him.
Trusty goes down the line. Looks like a foul on Anthony Fortuna there.
Yeah, I think Milan Roberts made a little bit of contact right when that ball came through. Maybe just try to get that extra little touch in to create some separation to give himself some time. Instead, the referee deems it a foul, and it's going to be a free kick from about 25 yards out. It looks like it is going to be Aaron Jones coming across to take this one. He is the one who scored his first ever, her first professional goal against the Richmond Kickers from a free kick from about this distance.
Uh-oh. That'd be back in July, early July.
Indeed.
Okay, so we can expect Aaron Jones to shoot here. I see Richmond slowly setting up a wall. You also see number 45, Chambers, standing over the ball. Yeah, Aaron Jones looks every bit a man who's about to strike this. Steps up, bends it. It's in the top left corner. Magnificent free kick from number 19, Aaron Jones.
And he is 2 for 2 against the Richmond Kickers. Really well hit there. Does well to get it up and over the wall, but then right back down into that top corner. As you said, Matt Turner couldn't get a hand to it, couldn't get across that goal to cover, and it's 1-0 to Bethlehem here at City Stadium in the 39th minute.
We want to check his ID and make sure that it's not Cristiano Ronaldo wearing number 19 for Bethlehem Steel. Yeah, he really wrapped around that.
He did indeed. Took that instep, but you can see when the finishing foot comes back across, it's on the other side of that left foot, that plant foot. That's that spin, that's that power, and that's that torque that he gets on it to get the ball up and down, to get that movement, to get that goal.
Did you spot Ken Tribbett getting another one as well, hoping to make it 2-0?
Did he make sure it went in the back of the net at the end?
All right, Kickers 1-0 down here, about 5 minutes to go in the first half against the run of play. Asante down the line to Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando's heavy touch. Jones collects and goes back. Header from Roberts. Another header from Roberts. Asante wins it in the air as well, but Chambers clears. Yombi gets his head to it. I think it's an important few minutes for the Kickers. We'll see, are they rattled or are they determined to get an equalizer?
And we've talked about this before in earlier games of this season where the Kickers concede late in that first half. It completely changes the way you approach that second half heading into halftime, what Kickers coach Lee Calishaw is going to say to them, because now it completely changes the game plan. You've got to get the equalizer as opposed to the winner.
Marquez down the line, looking for Matthew Reel. Matthew Reel gets a touch, Yombi is across. Reel is back up and has the ball. Looking for options. Goes back to Austin Trusty, gives it to Chambers. Ball is loose down the line, it's going to run out for a goal kick. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers goal kick.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
Turner kicks long down the middle. Oliver challenges, but Richie Marquez wins it in the air. I'm going to be checking Richie Marquez's exact height at halftime.
In the meantime, Sonny Johnny having some words with the official there, as well as the Bethlehem midfield. I think he wasn't too pleased by that contact. Referee just says, no more. Let's take a break here. And now have Raul Gonzalez taking this free kick. Looks like he's going to try to serve this one in as the big men get forward.
Gonzalez takes it quickly, goes down the right wing, gets it back. Now Raul Gonzalez with a little space to cross. Crosses it in low. And Milan Roberts, I believe, has lifted it over the bar.
I'm not sure if it was Roberts or Oliver there. It seems like it was a bit of a miscommunication.
They
because
equally disappointed.
Yeah, I think neither one could communicate 100%. Neither one put a foot on it 100%.
Let's get a second look at this and see exactly who put it over the bar for the Kickers.
It looks like it was Oliver outside of the foot. It looked like Oliver tried to get that on the outside of his right foot, but instead puts it over the goal. We'll definitely be thinking about that one as we head into halftime here. But a really good delivery from Raul Gonzalez.
Really
a nice kind of disguised free kick to play short, get that ball back, then play that one in behind. But unfortunately, Kickers can't equalize, and it remains 1-0 here at City Stadium.
Turner has kicked that out of bounds. It's going to be a Bethlehem Steel throw-in with about 3 minutes to go until the end of first half regulation. Down the line to Nanko. Out of bounds, it's going to be a Kickers throw.
So it's going to be a Kickers free kick, maybe?
Oh, I see. Maybe Nanko fouled a Kickers defender. Turner comes across to take.
I do appreciate that the Kickers themselves didn't seem too certain what had happened there. Yeah. Robinson lined up to take a throw and then just sort of like sheepishly rolled it onto the field.
I hope Matt Turner runs back towards his goal pretty quickly after taking this, especially after he mishit it. Luckily, Luis Fernando collects it in midfield. Down the line from Troyer. Sonny Jane has the ball now. Jane up against the goal scorer, Aaron Jones. Swerved but didn't take the ball with him. Good work from Anthony Fortuna, turns around, gives it back to Jones. Jones clips it long down the line. Nanko chases, Roberts gets ahead to it. Braden Troyer now with the ball. Troyer to Asante. Asante running laterally, squares it to Jalen Robinson. Robinson brings it forward. It's up against Matthew Reel. Goes back to Asante. Great touch down the line there. Squared. Roberts clears. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers corner kick.
Really good work there from Jalen Robertson to get in behind, to get to the end line, doesn't let that ball go out, gets it back into play, tries to find the feet of it, looks like Oliver, but instead it's going to go out for a Richmond Kickers corner with less than 90 seconds on the clock, but also we did have the water break and a few moments of stoppage. I think we're going to have a decent amount of stoppage time added on.
Yeah, Robertson did everything right, except that final ball was a little too weak. But to be fair, he was on the stretch, right, trying to get to it. Corner comes in. Luis Fernando didn't quite get there. Ball is cleared by Bethlehem. It bounces and bounces. It's out of bounds. Oliver, number 9, is a man kind of under pressure as well, because you have the aforementioned Frank Tayu on the bench, sort of ready to either, I'm going to guess, replace him at some point during this match.
Yeah, it's either replace or partner, but the way the Kickers have made their changes this season, it probably replace seems more likely.
Well, it's quite rare to see 2 pure strikers up top for the Kickers. Luis Fernando, good touch, and down the line to Sonny Janet. Janet up against Tribbett. Gets to the end line, crosses low. Roberts got to it, not completely confidently, but did enough. Ball is cleared for Nanko to chase. Nanko up against Yombi. Yombi did very well to sprint in front of him and shepherd that out.
He also reacted to that one very quickly. He was a good 40 to 50 yards away from where that ball eventually went out of bounds. We'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half at City Stadium. Bethlehem still with a 1-0 lead, and they'll try to see this one out as they get that pressure from the Kickers' front 3.
Roberts into Tribbett. Tribbett under pressure. Chambers gets it out. Ball bounces out. It's going to be Jalen Robertson to take the throw. Turner goes long. Roberts steps and wins that very confidently. Chambers into Tribbett. Tribbett on the move. Tribbett tried to go by Milan Roberts. Milan Roberts stood strong. It's with Moore. Crossed in. Header. Saved by Matt Turner. Really good save and hold from Matt Turner.
Excellent header there from Ken Tribbett. Gets a lot of power behind it. Gets it low. Matt Turner does well to hold. And then, as you said, not let that ball spill. Easily could have parried that one back into play, where there were a few different Bethlehem players waiting to put that one home. Really well done from the Richmond Kicker shot stopper.
Shot holder. Now Roberts into Chambers. To Anthony Fortuna. Fortuna's been in and out of this game, but every time he's touched the ball, he's sort of done something smooth and silky and held onto it.
He's doing a good job of operating in that midfield, as are Tribbett and Chambers. They're doing a very nice job of locking it down, keeping possession when they can, and frustrating the Kickers, who are trying to keep them contained.
Fortuna's gone out left. Now gets the ball back. Yeah, I get the sense Bethlehem will happily slow this down until the 50th minute arrives.
Well, what gives you that impression?
Jones tried the pass outside to Moore, couldn't quite find him. Asante couldn't find the feet of Oliver. But Oscar Umar gives it to William Yombi. Heavy touch, but it finds Robertson. Gets it back. Yombi under pressure. Gives it to Asante. Immediately under pressure from Moore. And a turn. Nice turn from Samuel Asante. Floats it out left to Troyer. Troyer into the feet of Janet. Kickers making progress down the field. Until Janet slipped. Tribbett got a foot in. Troyer battles with Moore and wins it. Troyer to Luis Fernando. Fernando with a move and a cut inside. Square to Janet. To Asante. To Yombi. That ball was asking a lot of Raul Gonzalez. I think he had to foul to try and get there.
I think it was that final little poke in there that maybe did get the ball, but I think also maybe got the foot there and will be a free kick. But it is a little feisty there from Bethlehem. They let a few Kickers players know that they weren't pleased with the possession and how maybe slow the Kickers were being. There was a shove in the back there for Samuel Asante right at the end, and then some sloppy passing from William Yombi.
Marquez takes it. Flicked on by Tribbett. Can Moore keep it in? Santi Moore does keep it in. Up against Troyer.
Really nice work there from Santi Moore, the winger for Bethlehem. Does really well to keep that ball in place, settle it down. Then I think recognize the surroundings, recognize that they just want to kill this game off a little bit, kill this half off a little bit at least. Plays that ball off Braden Troyer and then takes his absolute time, as you can see here, to get that ball set down and to take that corner kick.
By my watch, we have maybe 1 or 2 minutes left in this half. Interestingly, Bethlehem have sent Hugh Roberts forward, willing to take a risk right at the end of the half.
They've got the big men push forward, that's for sure.
A winner in the air by Trusty, cleared off the line by Oliver. Back out wide to Moore, who's got room to cross. Moore crosses to the back post, taken by Tribbett. Tribbett shoots low, across the face of goal. Samuel Asante clears. Jones with a clever little header finds Nanko, who immediately goes out right to Santi Moore. Santi Moore running at Asante. He's opened up some space. He crosses it in. William Yombi puts it behind for a corner kick. I think he had to do that.
Good bit of skill there again from Moore to go at Samuel Asante, pull the Richmond Kickers midfielder in, then Moore touches it by him. Almost drew a foul, but instead plays in a really nice ball. Well dealt with by William Yombi to know his position, know where he is in relation to the goal, and make sure he turns it out for a corner as opposed to an own goal.
But I felt like any even header that keeps it in puts the kickers in danger.
Absolutely.
So it's better to just get rid. Moore goes across to take. Santi Moore steps up, comes in quickly, headed out by William Yombi. It's going to be Asante to challenge Nanko.
But instead it's going to be half-time here at City Stadium. 1-0 to Bethlehem Steel ahead, 1-0 courtesy of a lovely free kick goal from Aaron Jones. Richmond Kickers had their chances but could not convert.
Okay, so what do we make of this first half, Taylor?
I think it's pretty indicative of the way the season has gone. Richmond Kickers are in a bit of a slump. Yep. When you're in that slump, it's going to be difficult to get the confidence. It's going to be difficult to take those chances cleanly. When you're Bethlehem and you're on a good run, you're on that 8-game unbeaten run, feeling strong away from home, all it takes is one chance, and you can convert that one chance.
So you can absorb the pressure, be confident that, yeah, we're that team that keeps winning.
Yep.
So it'll come. It'll
come. Exactly.
Steps Aaron Jones. All right, it's 1-0 at half-time. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Get tickets at richmondkickers.com. It's time for the Dr. Babick crossbar.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
I'm gonna leave
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by four walls. Our office is out here in our community. CBS 6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back to City Stadium. It is half-time. It is Richmond Kickers 0, Bethlehem Steel 1, thanks to a magnificent free kick from right-back Aaron Jones.
The ball kids for today's game are presented by Saxon Shoes.
And they had to help pick that ball out of the back of the net.
They certainly did. They certainly did. I think Matt Turner was still down, still looking on that ball with a little bit of disbelief, so I think he got some help there.
So let's take a look at some highlights from the first half, Taylor. These are not first half highlights. This is halftime crossbar challenge, but we did see Oliver hit the crossbar.
This has been a little bit of what it was. It's possession from the Kickers, but maybe not a lot of end result.
There was, as we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of the Kickers getting down the end line and trying to cross it in low. That seems like that has been the plan. And a couple of chances have come from, maybe not directly from that, but then from Bethlehem kind of panicking and clearing to the top of the box.
And I think it's been a varied approach from the Kickers. Sometimes it is that low-driven ball. Sometimes it is trying to take people on 1v1. And sometimes it is trying to get shots from distance and create opportunities. But no goals for the Kickers, albeit with some good chances. As we've seen Bethlehem have fewer chances, but take the one that they did have.
You see a few more chances for the Kickers here. There was Oscar Umar shooting over. Luis Fernando, I think, has been more impressive than in recent memory.
I agree completely. Yeah? We tend to see him maybe try to do a little bit too much here. He's done just the right amount, as you see that lovely little nutmeg, then tries to pick out a teammate, and you could almost argue that it'd be better if he does more there.
So that was Aaron Jones you saw getting nutmegged. It looked like a bad night for him, but then he gets an opportunity from a free kick. Stepped up. I mean, I was joking saying it, but he looked Ronaldo-like in his confidence as he steps up.
Well, I mean, again, he did this 3 weeks ago against the Kickers, gets his first ever career professional goal against the Richmond Kickers on a free kick from about 30 yards out. So you can't blame him for being confident and wanted to take that chance, and that's exactly what he did.
So, what do we think the Kickers have to do in the second half to turn this around?
If I'm Lee Calishaw, we saw him walking off at halftime. He looked pretty frustrated, but I think this is probably one of the better games we've seen from the Kickers, at least of late. Yeah. And I think he should remind them of that. I think he should remind them that they've got to stay calm. They've got to stay composed. With the game the way it's been, they've had good chances. They've hit the crossbar. They've put one over from inside the 6-yard box. The goal will come if the Kickers can calm down, but if they try to rush it, if they get a little bit too panicked, then we could see some problems. The flip side to that, as strange as it sounds, is that at times we've seen the Kickers not really try to push for that equalizer, not throw everything they can forward until the final 10 or 15 minutes. You kind of can't do that either. You've got to find the varied approach that will work from the start of the second half.
So, rather than being like, 15 minutes, we'll see what happens, maybe it should be, all right, treat this like it's the last 5 minutes, let's go for it. From at least like maybe the 55th, 60th. That's what I'd like to see as a viewer here.
And I think the substitutions will be telling. Lee Calishaw tends to hold them to like the 55th or 60th minute, which almost screams, let's see if what was happening in the first half works better to start the second half, and then if it doesn't, then we'll change. It'll be interesting to see if the Kickers have a different approach right from kickoff. For Bethlehem, I think they can do exactly what they've been doing. They can tighten a little bit up more at the back. They have been a little bit vulnerable. They've been a little bit sloppy. They tighten up just a little bit. I think the Kickers are going to be in for a long 45 minutes.
All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for second half kickoff.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We are officially past the midway point of the 2017 USL season. The first half saw the setting of new records, attendance reach over 1 million, and strong play on the field, highlighting the Fans' Choice Mid-Season Awards. Nominees were chosen for the awards, and the winners were left up to fan vote. Diego Restrepo was voted Goalkeeper of the Year, winning a staggering 59% of the vote. The San Antonio FC goalkeeper started the season as the backup, but stepped in after Matt Cardoni's injury and has racked up 7 clean sheets along the way, to go along with a .39 goals against average and a .862 save percentage. Kyle Smith was voted Defender of the Year, the only Louisville City FC player to play every minute for the club this season. The league's newcomers were recognized in a close vote, but Reno 1868 FC's Chris Wehan just edged out New York Red Bulls 2's Aaron Basulovic for the Fans' Choice Rookie of the Year award by 0.1%. Wehan is tied for the league lead in assists with 7, while Basulovic has yet to come off the field for New York Red Bulls 2, passing at an 84% accuracy rate. Chandler Hoffman claimed the title of Fans' Choice MVP. Hoffman has tallied 11 goals and 5 assists and found himself as the lone player in the top 5 in the league in both categories. Hoffman, along with head coach Briggs, have helped lead Real Monarchs SLC to the best record in the league, a feat that earned Briggs the Fans' Choice Mid-Season Award for Coach of the Year. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
Oh.
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna leave alone when I cross the line, standing high above this moment in time. Gonna push to the side, gonna hold on tight, 'cause I believe in love. This moment in time, this moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Welcome back to City Stadium, where it is still Richmond Kickers 0, Bethlehem Steel 1, because there are no goals at halftime. Today's stats are sponsored by GRTC. The big headline stat is Kickers hit the bar once, Bethlehem Steel scored once.
That's your big stat of the game?
It is.
I mean, I think it is pretty telling. You've had some good chances from the Kickers, as we said, just not able to convert. But we'll see what they can do in the second half. It doesn't look like we've seen any changes so far. A few of the Kickers back on the field. Bethlehem not bringing their players out just yet. I think taking every minute of halftime that they can.
Yeah, Kickers, you can see them sort of, they've been having a chat about exactly what happens next. I see Oscar Umar and Milan Roberts having a chat there.
I think the other key thing here, we've seen a decent amount of water on the field during halftime, so we'll see how that impacts game if the ball moves a little bit faster at the beginning of the half than it did at the end of the first.
Sprinklers.
Indeed.
Still no Bethlehem Steel. So we were talking earlier, Tyler, about possible substitutions for the Kickers. We don't see any right now. We don't expect any from head coach Lee Cowdershaw exactly at half-time. But inevitably, on a hot night, losing 1-0, there are going to be changes. Who do you see coming off the bench making a change for the Richmond Kickers?
I'd say one that we probably will see at some point is Paddy McCann. He started warming up pretty early on in the first half. I think maybe he can come on to give a little bit more bite to that midfield.
Yep.
The other obvious one would be Frank Teu, who has scored for the Kickers previously in the season, which is a rare thing at times. So I think we'll probably see him. He'll be the big man up top. And then maybe we'll also see Anthony Grant, again, as another goal-scoring option, but a little bit pacier than Frank Teu, maybe a little bit more capable of running in behind, making those runs off the last defender.
I would not be surprised if we also see Finlay Wyatt. We mentioned him in the first half, but he tends to really be someone who gets down that left wing, gets quality crosses in. And I also, Lee Cowdershaw likes to sub out Luis Fernando. Right? I mean, he's young, he's still learning the game, but I want to express an opinion here. I would like to see Luis Fernando get the 90 minutes because he's having one of those days where things are coming up.
Yeah, well, except for him is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Here. Yeah, I would be surprised if we see all those changes because that was 4 substitutions. So yeah, I think you're right though. Finlay Wyatt is probably the more likely over maybe Paddy McCann to come into this game just because he can play those balls in. He is a little bit more deadly from outside, and I think you're right. If there is a player who historically would make way, it would be Luis Fernando, but I think he's done really well. One player who I think has struggled a little bit, and it will be interesting to see how he does to start the second half, is Sonny Jane. Couldn't really get into a rhythm at times, had some words with Samuel Asante, because I think Asante wasn't thrilled about how far back Jane was to start his runs. He wasn't close enough to kind of create that midfield triangle, so I think maybe we might see some change there.
For Bethlehem Steel, the name we really know on the bench is Kone, right? 7 goals in 15 games. I believe he's Bethlehem's top scorer. I think he's been kind of rested tonight because there are so many games in the summer and it's so hot in USL.
Yeah, and
if he comes off the bench, Kickers have to be worried.
Absolutely, because it either means that maybe Bethlehem really want to go at the Kickers. They sense there's a vulnerability. There's an opportunity to get one more goal and kind of kill this game off. And so I think if you do see Kone come in, you definitely have to be a little bit wary if you're a Richmond Kickers fan, especially because it could mean maybe a weakened Richmond Kickers defense and a stronger attack.
Second half is underway. It begins with the ball being played out of bounds by James Chambers, so Kickers get an early turnover. Robinson lays it back to Yumby, squares it to Milan Roberts, and now we'll see, are the Kickers determined to go forward? They certainly are. Roberts drives it down the channel, looking for Luis Fernando. Jones gets ahead to it. It's picked up by Oliver. Oliver from about 30-something yards out. Shoot! It is in the bottom right corner. They've equalised right from the start of the second half.
And I think we have our answer if the Kickers are going to be aggressive in the attack right from the outset. Really nice work there from Oliver. Picks his spot. Maybe he can't finish from inside the 6-yard box, but he can from outside the 18. Lovely finish to that far corner.
What did Lee Cowdershaw say at halftime?
I think he said exactly what we thought he should say, which is everybody calm down. The goals will come if we relax just a little bit. That strike, by the way, brought to you by Draper Aiden Athletic, engineering the experience.
Well, Oliver engineered this right into the bottom right corner.
Absolutely, picks his spot, lovely little instep, gets the foot around it, gets a little bit of bend to it, and gets that bounce right in the right spot, puts into that back corner. Lovely strike from the Brazilian.
I always forget Oliver is Brazilian-German, right?
Yeah. It's a natural combination.
He should be the ultimate soccer player. We are back in play. Oscar Umar's giving it to Sonny Jane. Sonny Jane now drives forward. Luis Fernando down the left. Luis Fernando bringing it up against Tribbett. In low to Gonzalez. Gonzalez can't quite get to it. He stretches out. Robinson running down the line. Putting Real under pressure. Gives him a shoulder. No foul. Kickers have the ball back. Raul Gonzalez has it. Little flick to Robinson. Robinson in low at the back post. Luis Fernando has scored. It is 2-1 Richmond Kickers.
Great work there. That starts with Robinson. Robinson puts them under pressure, forces the miss pass there. Great work from Raul Gonzalez with that little back heel, little flick in, and a lovely finish at the far post by Luis Fernando. And very quickly, Richmond Kickers take the lead. That goal also presented by Draper Aiden Athletics, engineering the experience.
Well, here's Jalen Robinson engineering an assist there. Really nice far post run from Luis Fernando. But we may yet see him play 90 minutes.
I cannot say enough about that run. That ball came across from left to right. Looked like it was going out of bounds. Jalen Robinson pursued, put them under pressure, forced a sloppy touch there, and ends up getting the assist. Lovely work there from the on-loan defender.
So we are on course for the Richmond Kickers to win 45-1 if they keep scoring at the rate of a goal a minute in the second half.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Also, you mentioned Jalen Robinson putting the Bethlehem player under pressure. It's not often we see Kickers fullbacks pushed up that high defensively trying to win the ball back. This is new for the Richmond Kickers in this half.
And you can see, again, it's signs of intent early from the Kickers, paying off. Bethlehem maybe expecting the Kickers to be a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more demoralized. Maybe Bethlehem just a little bit slow to start as they were in the first half and made to pay for it here in the second half.
Suddenly it is 2-1. Now Luis Fernando has won the ball back on that far side. You can see him running down this left wing, cuts back. Fernando down the line to Oliver. Now the Kickers are the team that looks like they have some confidence. Oliver running at 3 men, tackled. Ball comes loose. Asante with a nice touch. Turns 360. Out wide to Robinson, who is pushed forward again. Yombi to Roberts. There's a danger that the Kickers slow down a little bit.
Danger for whom? Because I do think, for Bethlehem, they're going to have
Oliver
to react to it.
Oliver has flicked it into the path of Jane. Johnny hits the post. It bounces out. It's collected by Oscar Umar, who cuts it back. I think Austin Trusty got a touch.
I think Oscar Umar was also looking for the head of Raul Gonzalez there, but just kind of miskicked it a little bit.
Now here come Bethlehem with Anthony Fortuna. Out right to Moore. Tackled. Luis Fernando with the ball again.
Really nice poke tackle there from Braden Troyer. Read that really, really, really well. Did well to dispossess.
Nanko's won the ball back though. It's going to be a Bethlehem throw. It is. Richmond Kickers 2, Bethlehem Steel 1. Kickers, this is a big moment if the Kickers break this 13-match USL winless streak.
Absolutely. And I think that pressure from Robertson was a big deal, especially because it was Matthew Reel who was unable to hold on to it and ended up getting dispossessed. That led to that second goal. He's a left back by trade. You expect him to be able to hold on to it.
In the box, crosses to the far post, just ahead of Nanko. The ball is still in play though. Santi Moore has it on the right-hand side. Couple of step-overs. Couldn't get around Braden Troyer. Troyer comes out with the ball. Not only have the Kickers come to life, this game has come to life.
A lot more energy in here. Maybe a little bit more desperation from both sides. Kickers now in a 3v2 situation.
Here's Jane. Jane has Oliver to his, he has Oscar to his left. The flag is up. Ball's in the back of the net, but I see the offside flag on the far side.
Most of the fans here at City Stadium haven't seen it just yet. We'll see if the Red Army spot that decision before the flare goes off. It looks like they have. Oh, no, there's the flare.
Oh, don't waste your flares.
Sonny Jane.
Those things aren't cheap.
Looked like he'd done really, really well there, and then maybe just held it just a bit too long. I think it's a correct decision there. It did seem like Richie Marquez had dropped off a bit more behind that back line, but I think not enough to keep Oscar on side. Good decision there from the assistant referee, even if most folks here at the City Stadium will not agree.
You mean 6'2", Richie Marquez?
You looked it up?
I did. I looked it up at halftime. He's exactly 6'2". Here's Anthony Fortuna. Tried to play the ball to Tribbett.
He's nothing if not determined, folks.
Samuel Asante to Raul Gonzalez under immediate pressure. Loses out, but still has the ball. Here goes Raul Gonzalez. Squares it to Jane. Jane outside of the foot to Braden Troyer, who's joined the attack. Troyer comes inside. Lays it off. Asante collects, sorry. Asante outright to Jalen Robinson. Gets down the line. He's trying to get past Real. Looks like he's won a free kick. It's going to be a Richmond Kickers free kick on the right-hand side.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XMFC, Channel 85. And also don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USL Soccer for dates and times.
It's Raul Gonzalez standing over this ball.
If I'm Bethlehem's head coach, I'm thinking about making some changes here. It does seem like the Kickers have the momentum. It seems like Bethlehem really struggling now, have gotten caught out a couple times. Gaps are forming, so I won't be surprised if we see some changes from the visitors before too long.
Yeah, if I'm Brendan Burke, I'm thinking about Kone right now.
If I'm Lee Kalishaw, I'm maybe doing the exact same thing.
Gonzalez prepares to take. His deliveries have been great so far today. That one doesn't clear the first man. Tribbett got ahead to it. Collected in the box by Roberts, though. He gives it to Luis Fernando.
Just a bit too casual there from Moore. Tried to be fancy, instead gave the ball away. Now Kickers possessing.
Here's Oscar Umar in the corner. He's found Fernando, who's onside. Luis Fernando plays it in low. Oliver tried to just get that sort of back heel to it.
But I think he let it roll out. Hugh Roberts did well to intercept, put it out for a corner kick. If he hadn't done that, Oliver inside the 6-yard box with a very clear chance. Instead, good intervention there from the former Kickers defender. But a really nice ball there to find Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando then doing well again, as we talked about, to keep that ball low and to put it in the area where it's always going to cause some problems.
Here's Raul Gonzalez to take the corner. You want it done fast or you want it done right? Here we go. Bends it in. Yambi gets a head to it. It's headed wide.
Yambi saying there was a touch there. Referee's not agreeing. He has a word with the center official, but it will be a goal kick for Bethlehem.
Let's take another look. It did look like Yambi headed it straight out.
On second viewing, it looks like maybe it was Hugh Roberts who got a head to it.
His former defensive partner.
Yeah, but I think it was close enough that you can't blame the officials for giving it the way they did.
It's like an Iron Man versus Captain America, who would win thing. So we always used to see Yambi and Hugh Roberts win almost every ball in the air for the Kickers.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that comparison.
Milan Roberts with the header. Tribbett collects it though. Fortuna. Troyer gets a foot in. And a nice slide tackle. Roberts slides it out of bounds. Now Bethlehem with Tribbett. Oliver coming back to help out, and he's helped out by winning the ball back. Raul Gonzalez tried to break away down the line there. Good chest pass from Roberts. Matt Turner's going to get there. First time, down the field.
I like that you said that with a little bit of a question mark at the end.
Nothing's guaranteed though.
Free kick there for Bethlehem. Seemed like it was going to go the other way. Seemed like Hugh Roberts had maybe come over the top. Instead, I think the official says that Sonny Jane came underneath, maybe tabletopped Hugh Roberts there, just backing up and then ducking down.
Oh, it's tough, right? Because Hugh Roberts is so big and Jane is so small that it almost goes against Hugh Roberts. It's Austin Trusty. Gives it to Matthew Real. Real, number 47, down the line to Trusty. Trusty, the centre back, lost the ball there. Oliver has it. Oliver gets away from Richie Marquez. Oliver accelerating through the middle. Oliver goes out left to Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez is in the box, cuts back. Really good tackle from Aaron Jones.
Absolutely. A bit of a sloppy touch there from Gonzalez, but it seems like he made up for it. But instead, Jones with a really well-done interception. Nice little poke tackle. No contact, no penalty. Clean tackle. Well done by that defender.
It's going to be a kicker's throw. Milan Roberts is going to leave it for Raul Gonzalez.
Aaron Jones can hit a free kick, and he can make a poke tackle when it really needs it.
Jane collects a throw, lays it off for Asante, who first times it out to Jalen Robinson. Robinson goes wide. Luis Fernando. Looks like Luis Fernando and Raul Gonzalez have swapped wings here in the second half. Nice moves to Jane, now back to Luis Fernando. Maintains possession, gives it to Asante. Now Samuel Asante to Oscar Umar. Out right to Jalen Robinson, and back to Oscar Umar. Umar to Yambi. Yambi to Asante. Asante putting all the moves on. There's definitely a confidence about the way the Kickers possess the ball that we're not used to seeing these past 3 months, I would say.
Even a couple minutes ago, there was a really just confident switch from Braden Troy and Milan Roberts, where they both hesitated for a half second and then moved at the exact right moment. In games past, I've seen that exact transition, and I've seen them both stutter and stop and then stay where they were. Really nice little transition there, and it points to maybe just a little bit more fluidity from those defenders.
Oliver slides into the loose ball, but is now holding his shin. It looks like Trusty and Oliver collided on the floor.
I think both went in hard. Oliver did leave the ground there. It seems like he maybe tried to hook that ball back with his heel and maybe got a bottom of the studs there from Austin Trusty for the effort.
I think Trusty quite rightly doesn't look too impressed with what just happened.
Yeah, no, I think Trusty should definitely feel like the aggrieved party here. At least that's how it looked on first viewing. Yeah, I think it's Oliver going in hard. I think doesn't look quite as reckless as it did at first, but maybe the referee disagrees. Looks like it's going to be a booking for Oliver. Yellow card to Oliver in the 58th minute.
It's going to be a Bethlehem free kick. Referee Daniel Chesky has shown Oliver the yellow card and seems to be maybe giving him a bonus talking to.
Well, I think he wasn't too impressed. I think he definitely thought that it should have been going the other way. But I think with how aggressive that challenge looked in like normal view, not even on replay, combined with the fact that it did look like he left with both feet, you can see why that card was given out.
Well, maybe referee Chesky was asking, is it Oliver or is it Minotaur? What do I put? Because it's not always clear. I think on the back of his shirt it does say Oliver, though.
It does.
Here's Raul Gonzalez. Cuts back across. Gets taken down, I think, by Aaron Jones. That is going to be a Kickers free kick. Here's Yumbi.
Just getting a bit more physical this game now.
Yeah.
Seeing a few more fouls, a few more like elbows left in after the ball goes.
Kickers possessing. Yumbi with the ball. Umar under some pressure. And Turner's been forced out of his box and goes down the line.
It does look like Seiko Kone has been recalled as getting some instructions here. I'm guessing we'll see the Bethlehem striker before too long.
And here's Sonny Jane. Nice cut. Sonny Jane's at the top of the box. Tried to lift it over into Oliver's path. Tried the scoop pass. But now here comes Tribbett with a bit of space. Tribbett closed down fast by Luis Fernando with some great defensive work and then a crossfield ball. That is picked off though. Now here come Bethlehem. Moore. It's Jones. Jones into Fortuna. He's trying to find Matthew Reel. His touch wasn't the best. William Yumbi intercepts. Now here go the Kickers.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Samuel Asante takes the long way round, then plays a pass into Oliver. Oliver is holding off the challenges from Marquez. He still has the ball. Really good work from Oliver there. Oliver to Luis Fernando. I think if I'm Lee Calishaw, I might be taking a look at Oliver. He has played well. It's been good running, but he's starting to get a little bit frustrated. In that last sequence, got mad that no call was given, then went over, had a bump with Trusty off the ball. Didn't need to happen, and if I'm Lee Calishaw, maybe I'm a little bit worried that that boils over. Another yellow card leads to a red card, and now you've got big concerns.
It'd be a nice symmetry as well if Kone comes on for the Kickers to sort of throw on their new striker. Get Frank Tayu out there. It looks like Luis Fernando is being subbed off. Or is he just switching wings with Raul Gonzalez?
I think he's just switching wings.
Yeah, so the high five was for let's switch wings.
Instead, it's going to be Santi Moore coming off, and it will be Kone coming on.
So my guess would be that number 37, Chris Nanko, will play on the right wing where Moore was, allowing Kone to take the central role.
That's a safe bet, I would say. And I'm surprised it's Moore. He's looked pretty lively on that side. And whereas Matthew Reel hasn't looked so impressive, did get dispossessed, I would have been a little bit more worried if I was a Kickers fan to see both Moore and Kone on the field.
Kone replicating Nanko's good work up front, although it does give Milan Roberts the chance to put a Cruyff turn on him.
And in case our fans were wondering, that substitution was presented by Elephant Auto Insurance.
Here's Braden Troyer coming forward. Troyer lays it out to Luis Fernando. Fernando on the left. Fernando puts a move on Jones, finds Troyer in the box. Troyer lifts it into the path of Umar. Rail saw it first. Oliver was there on the volley, but once again the flag is up on the far side for offside.
Oliver ran off to celebrate, realized he was offside, so instead ran and got some water from his teammates who were warming up there on the advertisements.
Maybe that whole play was a ploy to get some water.
Almost certainly
Trusty
it
plays
was.
the ball down the line to Matthew Reel. He is at the top of the Kickers box. He's in the box. He's up against William Yumbi. Matthew Reel. Yumbi goes down. Reel still has the ball. Cuts it back. Strike from Kone is blocked. Top of the box now is Chambers. Shot is blocked once again by Milan Roberts. That's 2 blocks in a row. He's like Paul McGrath at Ireland against Italy in 1994.
I'm sure everyone will get that reference.
Tribbett lifts it down the line. Chambers with the ball now. Cross comes in. Kone lays it off. Matthew Reel couldn't quite get there. Now here comes Umar with the ball. Oscar Umar on the run. He has 3 options ahead of him. Gives it to Jane. Jane to Asante. Asante has Jalen Robinson outright. That's a very nice ball into his path, beckoning him forward. Robertson back to Asante. Raul Gonzalez maintaining possession. Umar to Asante. Big first-time ball for Roberts. I don't think that's what he intended.
No, I think he intended to get rid of the ball before it got intercepted. Kone read that ball, got forward very, very quickly. Could have been a big problem for the Kickers, so I think Milan Roberts just happy to get rid.
Kone making a run in behind. Ball down the line from Trusty, not good enough. From the little I've seen of Kone so far, he looks a little faster than Nanko.
I think they both seem pretty pacey, and I would say maybe they're both the same pace, generally speaking, but when one of them has played an hour in this temperature, maybe you can understand why he might be a little bit slower.
Excuses. Here's Matthew Real into Kone, who lays it off first time to Chambers. To Fortuna. Now back to Chambers. Chambers in low, first time layoff into the feet of Kone. Yumbi takes him down at the top of the box.
I think that's pretty harsh on Yumbi from first viewing. It seemed like he got the ball, then maybe there was contact after the ball was cleanly taken, but instead it's going to be a free kick. And I see Daryl scowling because it looks like it is going to be Aaron Jones stepping forward again to take this free kick. We get a replay here of that incident. On second viewing, it looks like I think it seemed like Yumbi had gotten maybe the ball first. Maybe he missed it there, and instead he got more of the attacker than it looked upon first viewing.
I think Kone put the move on it. But yeah, you're right. Aaron Jones has stepped forward. Kone standing over the ball with him. I'm not sure how great Kone is with free kicks, but when one man has already put it in the top left corner from about the same spot, kind of hard to talk him out of it, right?
I mean, you would think, but when one of you is the leading goal scorer for the team this season, maybe that's the trump card.
We shall see. Meanwhile, Kickers are setting up a wall. And it is Kone who steps over it. Now Jones steps up and Jones slips, but the ball goes chipped into the box. That was almost an accidentally brilliant trick play. Instead, the Kickers come away with it.
4v4 now break, and we may see a delayed yellow card for that challenge here in just a moment. But first, it's Oliver on the ball.
Here's Oliver down the right. Oliver first time into the box. Gonzalez takes it first time. An acrobatic volley is dragged just wide of the post.
I think a big problem for Bethlehem so far in this second half has been the Kickers' willingness to break at pace. In games past, we've seen them a little bit slower to transition, happy to get their numbers where they need to be before they move forward. In this game, the Kickers committing numbers forward very quickly and almost making Bethlehem pay for it was Raul Gonzalez with a nice volley but couldn't put it on frame.
I'd say the Kickers look more willing to shoot as well, more willing to try things like Raul Gonzalez just tried.
Again, when you start to feel a little bit more confident, that's when you start to try things.
Hugh Roberts gives it to Aaron Jones. I'm going to say he's 1 for 2 on successful free kicks. Trusty down the line. Matthew Real tried the step over Jalen Robertson, wasn't buying it. Instead, he turns, tries to get away. Real drags him back. Free kick to the Kickers.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Daryl, while all that was happening, Richmond Kickers assistant Sasha Gores just went across, had a word with some of the substitutes, and it looked like he had a word with Connor Shanoski in particular, who aggressively started to warm up immediately after. So maybe we'll see the Kickers switch to a back 3/back 5 for the final 25-20 minutes or so.
Will you do me a favour? Keep an eye on Roberts and Yumbi, Milan Roberts and William Yumbi, see if either of them look injured or like they're struggling with anything.
I will do that, but in the meantime, Connor Shanoski has been recalled to the bench. Looks like he will get a few final instructions and then make his appearance in this game.
Here comes Richie Marquez. Out left to Austin Trusty. Trusty to Tribbett. Down the line, Matthew Real. Matthew Real down the line to Austin Trusty. Cross comes in, Troyer takes it on the thigh and turns out. Clears left-footed, down the line. Looks like Sonny Jane is going to collect that. Now the Kickers can break. Jane to Asante. Here comes Samuel Asante. Lots of space ahead of him.
It's a 4v3 situation again for the Kickers, doing well to create some mismatches.
Here's Oliver on the right. Oliver up against Trusty, goes down the line to Samuel Asante. Asante in low. Gonzalez took another swing at that volley. Looks like he just caught it with the top of his boot.
I think he didn't make clean contact there. Meantime, it doesn't seem like there's any Roberts for Roberts or Yambi, so I won't be surprised if the Kickers do go to a back three, and maybe we see Sonny Jane make way just to see the Kickers transition into a more defensive shape, defensive shell, if you will.
Feels a little early for me, with 22 minutes to go, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it looks like Anthony Grant has also been recalled, so maybe that's why. Anthony Grant and Finley Wyatt now going back to the bench for the Kickers. You seldom seen 3 substitutions at once?
We shall see. Chambers to Jones, gets it back. Chambers, nice ball out left. Here's Austin Trusty. Been getting forward a lot more lately, Austin Trusty. It was played into the feet of, I believe that's Trivet.
Trivet, indeed.
And he very nicely takes it on the run with the inside of his left foot. That goal took me by surprise.
Absolutely, it did. Really crafty bit of skill there. Really nice finish there from Trivet to know exactly where he is in the goal. Nice little reverse instep into the side netting, and it is 2-2 here at City Stadium. We'll get a replay of that goal here in just a moment. Nice work from Austin Trusty to play that one in low. Nice little instep pass, or instep finish, excuse me, from Trivet, who looks around. I think he too was surprised by how open he was and by the kind of subdued reaction of his teammates. I think nobody expected that opening to occur except for Trivet and Trusty.
So questions I have for the Kickers are, how did Trusty have that much space to cross? And where did Ken Trivet come from? Because he seemed to arrive late into the box with no one marking him.
I think the Kickers had committed some numbers forward. Maybe it started to feel a little bit more confident, but had left themselves exposed at the back. That came almost immediately after a quick counter from the Kickers, so maybe they'd overcommitted numbers, left some space in from behind, and hadn't tracked their men. And as we get this water break, we'll also get some second half highlights.
There's at least 3 goals in there. There's Oliver's equalizer right at the start. We'd barely kicked off when Oliver equalized for the Richmond Kickers. That made it 1-1. Nice flip from Gonzalez there for the equalizer, and there's that assist for Jalen Robinson. Luis Fernando at the far post. Suddenly it was 2-1, only 46 minutes on the clock. Kickers held on to that lead for a good while.
And they did, as we see that nice finish there from Oscar, but no goal because of that offside flag, which you can also see right there.
Yeah, nice camera work with the offside flag raising into frame.
And while we see these highlights, it's worth noting it looks like it was William Yambi who's come off. Connor Shinosky has come on. That substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance.
So seeing these highlights, it's a reminder that there really was a spell when the Kickers should have or could have added a third to really start putting this game away.
But instead, Bethlehem added an equalizer. Again, a really lovely finish there. Not much celebrating from Bethlehem. I think maybe frustrated by the way things have gone in this second half, seeking that away win, wanting to get the 3 points to stay in playoff contention. And I think we'll see Bethlehem continue to push for that winner with 20 minutes remaining here at City Stadium.
I kind of enjoyed Ken Trivet's finger-wagging goal celebration. You were a very bad man? Is that what he was saying?
Yes. The Babu Bot, if you will.
We are back underway at City Stadium. It is 2-2.
Again, we have seen things since the mid-90s. That's all we're referencing at this point.
Do you think we'll see more goals tonight? 20 minutes to go.
We shall see. I mean, the Kickers making a defensive substitution. I'm curious to see how that impacts the other substitutions they were about to make, but I do think we're due for another goal, or at least maybe another booking.
The one thing to note, Connor Shinosky, experienced centre-back, not as fast as William Yambi. He is susceptible to anyone running in behind him.
Very true.
Kickers have the ball on this left wing here. Searching for that winner. Kickers have won a corner kick.
Fans, stay up to date on all the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM-FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
It's Raul Gonzalez to take this corner kick one more time for the Kickers. You feel the energy has sort of gone out of the Kickers with that equalizer. Cross comes in. Shinosky gets ahead to it, but it's gone behind. That would have been quite the entrance. That would have been his first touch. Well, that was his first touch.
It would have been. It was a good delivery there, but Bethlehem get that ball back underway very quickly. I think they, as we said, are really looking for that winner. Happy to get the ball back underway, get the ball forward, and see what they can do.
Here's the goal scorer, Ken Trivet. Gives it to Chambers. Out left to Trusty, who got the assist on that Trivet goal. His crossing has not been great all night until suddenly the perfect cross. Chambers gives it back to Trusty. Loose touch from Kone. Played out by Milan Roberts.
And that's where we see the shakiness of the Kickers that we've seen in games past. Maybe a little bit of that confidence fading. Instead, ball put into touch, and we will see another change for the Kickers. It looks like it's going to be Anthony Grant coming on, Oliver coming off. It looks like it will be Finley Wyatt coming on as well. Excuse me, that's not Anthony Grant, that's Frank Tayu. Frank Tayu coming on for Oliver, and Finley Wyatt as well.
I believe the stadium announcer just called him King Tayu.
I mean, that's his Twitter handle. And it looks like it will be Luis Fernando coming off as well, with Finley
Wyatt.
Finley Wyatt, excuse me. Definitely not Ethan Finley. Finley Wyatt coming on. Both of those substitutions presented by Elephant Auto Insurance.
Also for the Kickers, number 12, Finley Wyatt. For number 71.
Meanwhile, we're waiting for this throw-in from Bethlehem Steel. It's going to be Austin Trusty to take. So we can expect Finley Wyatt to get down that left wing, get some crosses in, maybe to the head of Frank Tayu.
I would say that's the exact game plan.
Here's Anthony Fortuna. He goes all the way back to 6'2" Richie Marquez. Marquez squares it to Hugh Roberts. Roberts turns, goes all the way back to Thomas Romero. Collected in midfield by goal scorer Tribbett. Back to Richie Marquez. No pressure really on Bethlehem. If they get out of here with a 2-2 draw,
I mean, then they'll keep the unbeaten streak alive, but I think given the way they've looked on the road this season, and given the fact that they're playing against the last place team in the league, I think they're definitely going to be pushing for that win.
Shinovsky wearing the captain's armband. He's inherited that from William Yumby. Jalen Robertson down the line, looking for Tayu. Tayu, good, almost a good first touch, a little heavy.
You committed to good before you saw exactly what happened.
I thought there was more room on that near side.
So did Frank Tayu.
If you're not familiar, viewers, with the Frank Tayu story, he was a futsal player for a long time. He was on the US national futsal team before he sort of stepped into 11-a-side soccer with, I believe, San Antonio. Left last season to go back and play futsal in Mexico. Now he's back in the 11-a-side game with the Richmond Kickers.
And it was essentially that he wanted to stay with San Antonio, correct? But basically the seasons overlapped. They wouldn't allow that to happen, so instead he came to the Kickers.
His futsal team made the playoffs, so he stuck with them to win another championship.
There it is.
And now here he is in Richmond. He already has 2 goals for the Kickers, one in USL, one in the Premier League, sort of, against Premier League opposition.
I'm sure that's how it counts. I think Romelu Lukaku would be happy if that's how it worked.
And you saw a good touch from Tayu there, and he battles his way through, and he wins the free kick.
And I think he gets another booking for Bethlehem. It looks like it's going to be Richie Marquez going into the book here for that professional foul.
Yeah, that was a professional, hold you back, you're getting away kind of foul, yeah. My feeling was Tayu was away, and maybe he shouldn't have stopped to complain.
I think he recognized where that was going to be. The ball had just gotten away from him just a little bit. I think he hadn't quite gotten it cleanly. And yeah, I think basically with that last pullback, I think that's always going to be a booking and a good call there from Daniel Chesky.
We do get a chance here. The Kickers get a chance for Raul Gonzalez to float this ball in, and Tayu, I mean, adds himself to the list of targets. He's a much better, or much more dangerous aerial threat than Oliver was.
Indeed, because now you can get Mullen Roberts and Connor Shinovsky and Frank Tayu in there. Now you've got 3 big options there, whereas maybe Oliver not quite as large and quite as intimidating in the air as Frank Tayu.
And it could also be Finley Wyatt. So Finley Wyatt would serve it left-footed, number 12. Number 27, Raul Gonzalez, will serve it right-footed. Keep Bethlehem Steel guessing which way this ball's going to bend.
Either way, it's getting served.
Gonzalez, it goes in low, perhaps unintentionally, but he gets another chance. He gets the ball back, gives it to Asante. Asante flicks it, Jane lets it go. Finley Wyatt is onside, tries to poke it past Romero. Romero took him down. It's going to be a penalty kick to the Richmond Kickers. I did not see that.
I did not see that either. I'm not sure Finley Wyatt did either. It seemed like it was just a little bit of a sloppy touch. Finley Wyatt limping now. I think he didn't take it quite as clean as he wanted to try to get that shot. Maybe it was the contact from Romero that prevented him from getting the contact. But in the end, it will be a penalty for the Richmond Kickers.
Let's see this one more time then. How much contact was there? Was it Fortuna from behind?
I think it was. I'm not sure if it was a combination of Fortuna or Romero. Either way, it looked like Finley Wyatt had maybe just tried to poke it around the goalkeeper there.
Pushing the back from Fortuna.
There it is.
Finley Wyatt. Yeah,
I think he tried to get it around, but had missed the ball, and that's where that sort of injury that's making Finley Wyatt limp came from. But it was a shove in the back and a penalty for the Richmond Kickers.
Sonny Jane, the man from Lesotho, stepping up to take it. This is a big moment for the Richmond Kickers. They can break this 13-game USL winless streak or have a good shot at it if Sonny Jane puts this penalty kick away. Sonny Jane up against Thomas Romero.
Bethlehem players refusing to leave the box. Now the referee Daniel Chesky will have a word with the assistant referee. Not sure if this is in relation to whether or not it should have been a penalty or whether or not a card should be issued. But Hugh Roberts refusing to leave the box. And now it looks like no penalty will be given. No penalty. Instead, it will be a free kick for Bethlehem. That's a big decision. A very big decision. Hugh Roberts pleading his case with referee Daniel Chesky. She goes across and has a word with the assistant referee, and the penalty is called back.
So it looks like on advice from the assistant referee, the linesman, referee Daniel Chesky changed her mind, essentially.
I'm wondering if maybe the ruling was that there wasn't that much contact there on Finley Wyatt and he went down of his own accord, maybe because he tried to play with the outside of his foot, tripped instead, goes down. Maybe that contact wasn't enough to send him to the ground. So no booking for a dive, but no penalty either.
Jalen Robertson wins the ball in the air. At the very least, this will fire up the Richmond Kickers. I think when you feel sort of an injustice, when you feel wronged, you play harder. And here's Tayu into the path of Asante. I think Asante was called, yeah, by number 37, Nanko.
Nanko with that pullback. No booking there, but again, some words, which I think Asante was a little bit fortunate. It seems like he was pretty frustrated by that contact. Could have gone after Nanko. Instead, it will be a free kick for the Kickers about 40 yards from goal.
All right, sub count. Richmond Kickers have made all 3. Am I right in thinking Bethlehem have only made the 1?
You are indeed. You're also right. If you're thinking that soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Bethlehem have 2 substitutions remaining. The Kickers don't have any. And I think they better hope that Finley Wyatt didn't injure himself in that situation back there and is capable of lasting at least 11 more minutes.
A free kick, a central free kick here, to be lifted up by Raul Gonzalez. There it is. He chips it in. It's too easy to head out when you play it directly like that.
And you still can't really get it over. Gets it over the first man, but not the second man. Not the best of deliveries there, and has struggled in the last couple free kicks.
I find that's Richmond blasphemy to suggest that Raul Gonzalez is struggling to get the ball out. Ball down the line. Taken by Nanko. Up against Finley Wyatt. Got a little space. Cuts it back. Roberts gets there, but another panicky clearance from Roberts. He had space there. He had time.
Yeah, and again, I think that speaks to like the nervousness of being aware that you're trying to hold on, maybe get that winner. You don't want to really take the energy out by conceding anything silly, so instead you're just trying to put it out of bounds.
Bethlehem throw in right by the Red Army. I think they're giving him advice on proper throwing technique. Both feet on the ground, release it from behind your head.
Apparently, I guess the ball is too slippery. They don't seem too pleased with that that call for a towel.
Throw comes in from Aaron Jones. A decent-sized throw. Trippett gets his head to it, only just over the bar. In fact, it bounces back from the back of the goal straight into Turner's hands. So 8.5 minutes plus, I'm going to assume a good amount of stoppage time for the water break.
Water break and 3 goals and a lot of subs.
So we can expect at least another 5-6 minutes of stoppage time. Ball over the top is easy for Shinovsky to shepherd. Takes control of it. Shinovsky looking for a pass. Goes long to the left for Troy. That's a great ball, but Jones reads it, heads it back.
Looks like Finley Wyatt has recovered from that injury, can run at full pace, but just can't get on the end of that one. Good ball, though. Richmond Kickers again trying to get that ball forward as quickly as they can.
Good header from Umar to Samuel Asante. Into the feet of Jane. Fortuna. Troyer steps and wins it. Ball goes out right to Jalen Robinson. Umar's pass is loose. It's collected by Bethlehem. Ball out left for Matthew Reel to chase. Connor Shinovsky's there, goes back to Matt Turner. Long ball, Roberts sees it all the way through to Romero. Richie Marquez, nice turn, evades Frank Tayu. Kickers pressing semi-aggressively, quarter-aggressively.
Quarter-aggressively, I think is well said.
It's not the full-on chase that we saw at the start of the second half.
Now we will see a change for Bethlehem here, their second of the half.
Coming on is number 55, Dawson McCartney.
And it's going to be number 55, Dawson McCartney, coming on. Making way is Matthew Real, number 47. This substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance.
McCartney on for number 47, Real for Harrisburg, for Bethlehem. Also for Bethlehem, number 48, Matthew.
About to restart here. Stadium announcer has figured out which team. We've seen 2 subs for Bethlehem.
We are indeed. It looks like number 48, Matthew Mahoney, also coming on. Not sure who is coming off.
I do know Mahoney is a centre-back, or at least he has played there for Bethlehem still.
I think it was Anthony Fortuna has come off. Excuse me, number 19, Aaron Jones has come off.
So Mahoney's going to play right back, but will likely not inherit free kick taking duties.
Likely not.
All right, this ball's going to get back in play. It looks like Mahoney to take a throw-in. Unsuccessful. Kickers have the ball. And now Kickers have a free kick. Taken quickly, too quickly, says referee Daniel Chesky. Now taken quickly. Troyer to Oscar. To Jalen Robinson. Back to Oscar Uma, who I've been very impressed with. This is the first time I've seen him play.
He's been very calm in the middle. He's had a few sloppy passes, but generally speaking has been nice and calm on the ball. Very poised performance from him.
Now Shanosky to bring it forward for the Kickers. Milan Roberts. Braden Troyer. Down the line to Jane. Now Finley Wyatt, flag is up. Once again, the Kickers are caught offside.
Folks at home, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
Austin Trusty's first touch was loose. Jalen Robertson steps forward with it. Here comes Robinson for the Kickers. Jane was dispossessed. It's going to be Chambers now for Bethlehem in the middle. Trusty out left. Trusty getting forward one more time. Kone was looking for that exact ball.
Austin Trusty was limping a minute ago. It has now gone down after playing that ball. Looks like he's in a bit of discomfort. Not sure if that's cramping or if he felt something go.
That's a shame because that was a very, very nice pass. And bear in mind, Austin Trusty is a centre-back.
Yep.
That's a centre-back playing that pass.
I think the fans here not too pleased with that, thinking maybe Trusty's gone down, just trying to milk a few minutes off the clock, but it does look like he got a little bit of a cramp. Looks like maybe it's one of his calves. I'm going to guess his left calf might be causing him some problems.
Yeah, I'm going to have more sympathy, I think, for the guy that just ran around for 86 minutes in 95-degree heat.
Suppose that's fair.
Roberts versus Tory. Roberts won it, but Raul Gonzalez collects. Puts it down the line. Jane holds it up in the corner. Sonny Jane. Back to Umar, who tried to play it back into Jane's path. It was a little too heavy. It's cleared all the way to Connor Shanaski. In the 87th minute at City Stadium. Here's Asante. Samuel Asante comes forward. Tried to find Frank Tayu. Tayu didn't really challenge, but Asante gets it back. Asante shoots from the top of the box and has found the side netting. Beautiful right-footed strike from Samuel Asante in the 87th minute at City Stadium.
Did well first off to collect that ball, second to get it under control, third to figure out who it was, fourth to finish it cleanly into that back corner. Put it exactly where he could, 1 inch to the right, and it's a save from Romero, 1 inch to the left, and it's off the post, but hits it where he hits it, and it's a goal. That goal presented by Draper Aiden Athletics, engineering the experience.
That could be the goal that turns the Richmond Kickers season around. That could be the goal that ends the 13-match USL winless streak.
And frankly speaking, that could be the goal that turns around Samuel Asante's season as well. He has not looked quite himself at times this season. That is the Samuel Asante that we've seen in years past.
Yeah.
controlling, dominating the midfield, and finishing well when the Kickers truly need it.
So Richmond Kickers 3, Bethlehem Steel 2.
And some good teamwork there for the Red Army.
3 minutes to go, plus some added time at City Stadium. Samuel Asante bringing joy back to City Stadium. Now Frank Tayu to give chase. It's Bethlehem under pressure. Richie Marquez goes long. Roberts flicks it on. Shanoski heads it out. Oscar Umar to Raul Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez tried the quick ball out to Frank Tayu, didn't quite get there. Tayu comes across to Marquez. Marquez goes long. Shanoski and Roberts combine to win that ball. Loose ball to Jane. Jane flicks it to Finley Wyatt. Finley Wyatt still looks pretty fresh going down that line. Asante collects. Back to Jane. Confident stuff from the Kickers. That ball was slightly behind Jalen Robertson, but he rescues it. It's a strange feeling, Taylor, because we're here for every Richmond Kickers home game. Yeah. It's a strange feeling to see another team chasing the game right at the end.
It's definitely a rarity this season.
Tayu to challenge. Oscar Umar sliding, couldn't quite get there. Shanoski watches that ball, clears it over his head.
Yeah, and in fact,
wasn't pretty, but it was safe.
In fact, we've seen Milan Roberts do exactly what Hugh Roberts is doing right now. Hugh Roberts up, playing as almost another striker, looking for that ball just to be served into the box. Yeah,
so Bethlehem are going to aim for the head of Hugh Roberts up there. Maybe some knockdowns to Kone. In the meantime, here's Tayu, Frank Tayu, number 70. He has the run of Gonzalez. He's played it too far ahead. Chambers gets it back to Romero.
And the Kickers are going to need to remember there's going to be a decent amount of stoppage time here. You don't want to get caught with too many men committed forward, but they have held, it looks like, 6 different players back.
4 minutes of added time is all we're going to get. I saw the board go up. Loose touch from Nanku.
I like that for a moment you thought like I was going to challenge you on it. 4 minutes, I saw the board, okay?
Here come Bethlehem. Finley Wyatt does not get called for that foul, so maybe it all evens out. Plays it down the line. Here's Asante. Touch around the defender for Asante. Does he keep it in bounds? He does. Asante gives it to Tayu. Frank Tayu with a heavy touch is dispossessed. That was the chance to kill the game for the Richmond Kickers.
I think Tayu dropping in, trying to just help out a little bit there, but then had to completely change the direction to try to take the ball with him, and just going to slow up a little bit.
But it was more good stuff from Samuel Asante, who is my man of the match.
Lee Kalashab off the bench has a scream at Frank Tayu. I think he just wants the Kickers to play safe, keep possession, not risk turning it over, and giving up a free kick as they just have.
Yeah, Troyer with a foul in the corner. It's going to be a free kick to Bethlehem Steel.
And it's going to be a yellow card to Finley Wyatt for kicking that ball away.
Big chance for Bethlehem here, right at the end of the game.
Replay here of that foul. Really nice work there from Kone. Troyer gets that arm across, brings him down, obstructs the run. Good decision there by the AR, who definitely had the vantage point from about 2 feet away.
So everybody forward here for Bethlehem Steel, bar the goalkeeper, Thomas Romero.
And he's still pretty far forward.
I possibly spoke too soon. Thomas Romero is stepping up to the edge of the box.
Yeah, he's about 35 yards from goal.
Looks like his job will be to serve it back in if it gets cleared. It's going to be Chambers to take this all-important free kick for Bethlehem Steel. Kickers have to hold their nerve here for the last minute or so. Romero getting ever closer. He may even enter your picture in a minute. He's getting right to the top of the box. Kickers man marking in the box there. I see Fortuna free at the far post though. Ball comes across. I think Roberts got up and got ahead to it, but has put it over the bar.
And it looks like there was a head-to-head collision there. At least the referee has stopped play, called the trainer on immediately. So I think she thinks she might have seen head-to-head, or at least the players both went down.
Roberts is up and says he's fine.
And instead the trainer's been waved back off the field as we get a replay here. A little bit of fighting in the box, a little bit of scrapping.
So a little bit of
Instead,
shirt
that ball
pulling
goes
as well.
over. Yep.
Referee did not.
Or at least not enough to award a penalty or a free kick, either way.
So Matt Turner with a chance to take this goal kick and a chance to take his time taking this goal kick. Once again, the stakes are high. Richmond Kickers' 13-match winless streak could be about to end with a 3-2 win against Bethlehem Steel here. Turner kicks as long as he can. Gonzalez challenges, ball bounces out. It's going to be a Bethlehem Steel throw-in. Austin Trusty to take. Trusty down the line. Winner by Gonzalez. Jana held it up. Oscar Umar does the right thing and just launches it down that line. Romero puts it straight back in play. Richie Marquez now. Richie Marquez looks up. Plays it long, looking for his centre-back partner, Hugh Roberts. Roberts v. Roberts.
And we're going to have a free kick here. Hugh Roberts, well hit, will be no goal. Referee had already called for the foul. Hugh Roberts not pleased with that decision, but I think play had stopped, including Matt Turner.
Wasn't a bad Turner strike.
It was not. But now it's going to be a free kick for Bethlehem, 36 yards out, give or take. And key point here is no Aaron Jones on the field anymore. He has been substituted out.
So this opens it up for Kone to take.
It looks like it's going to be Kone and Chambers standing over it. Yeah, my money would be on Kone.
I haven't been timing it, but I'm pretty certain we're close to the last kick of the game here.
Now it's going to be Kone to take. Or
Chambers takes it. Chambers strikes it. Matt Turner saves and holds and collapses on top of it.
And I'm no expert. I was going to say we'll take his time, but instead plays it immediately out to Finley Wyatt.
Wyatt plays it down the line. A clever ball for Gonzalez to chase. He's going to beat Romero there, but the flag is up for offside.
Meanwhile, Lee Kalisha up off the bench, gesturing wildly to his wrist. I'm guessing that's because he's pointing to an imaginary watch because he wants that final whistle to go. And it has. Final whistle goes here at City Stadium. Richmond Kickers get the win 3-2 and break that losing/winless streak.
Yeah, Richmond Kickers 3, Bethlehem Steel 2. Samuel Asante with the winner. An excellent strike on a night of excellent goals here at City Stadium.
Absolutely. Really nice free kick strike to kick things off. Kickers do well to fight back, get some lovely goals, get a few other goals that will not count, but it doesn't matter because in the end the Kickers get 3 goals, 3 points, and the win.
It is a night for taking your shirt off and waving flags around. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to wrap the game up.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
Oh. CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna leave when I cross the line, standing high above this moment in time. Gonna push through the shine, gonna hold on tight, 'cause I believe in love. This moment in time, this moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Welcome back to City Stadium, where you can see the Red Army celebrating a Richmond Kickers victory. They haven't seen one since April 22nd, but here it is. Richmond Kickers 3, Bethlehem Steel 2, the winner from Samuel Asante. Let's take a look at the first half goal from Bethlehem Steel.
Really nice strike, as we've talked about. Good instep, in-swinging finish to the near post, top
Still
corner.
The best goal of the night.
I'd say so. Good effort by Matt Turner, who just stays down. I think he's pretty surprised by that delivery,
And
even if Bethlehem were not.
Right out of the gate. Sorry, I was too fast out of the gate. Right out of the gate in the second half, Richmond Kickers have an equalizer.
It's a lovely finish there from Oliver Minitel. Back corner, side netting, whichever one you want. He took them both. Lovely instep finish there to get things started for the Kickers in the second half.
Then soon after, does the Richmond Kickers take the lead. The little flick from Gonzalez, the look up from Robinson, the square pass across through the corridor of uncertainty to Luis Fernando at the far post. Luis Fernando and his top nuts doing good work tonight.
And again, key point there being Robinson putting Bethlehem under pressure, forcing a turnover that led to that passing sequence that led to that goal. Bethlehem able to pull one back. A lovely, tidy little finish there from Tribbett.
Soft feet.
Does well to know exactly where he is in relation to the goal and the goalkeeper.
And the very bad man finger.
Equalizes things, but Samuel Asante gives the Kickers the win with a lovely strike from distance. Apparently no one wanted to score from inside the box except for Tribbett.
There's another look at that Asante goal. Did it take a deflection?
I think from my vantage point it looked like he hit it cleanly. No deflection there. Nope, no deflection. He just hits it right off the bounce, gets maximum power, maximum effort, and maximum back of the nettedness.
And maximum points for the Richmond Kickers. Once again, it finishes 3-2 at City Stadium. Samuel Asante with every right to celebrate in front of the Kickers fans there. Next up for the Richmond Kickers, they're going to be away to Charlotte in the middle of the week on Wednesday. Then next Saturday, they'll be back at City Stadium to face St. Louis.
Kickers hoping that this will be the start of a winning streak.
Yeah.
I think the Red Army is still believing that the playoffs are possible. We'll see if the Richmond Kickers can keep them believing that with the next 2 games in the next 6 days.
So there you go. Final score at City Stadium is Richmond Kickers 3, Bethlehem Steel 2. The winless streak is over. I've been Darryl Grove. He's been Taylor Rockwell. Thank you for watching. It is good night from us. Ends.
How you doing this evening?
Pretty good, but we have 2 streaks up against each other.
We sure do.
We have the Richmond Kickers on a 13-match winless streak. There was a 105 Fahrenheit heat index in Richmond, Virginia today. I think it may have been the hottest place in the country. The fields were